This is the Cruise FM Out of Tune podcast with Stacey and Curtis.
Anyway,
tell us what episode it is, Stacey.
Curtis, good morning and welcome to episode 10 of season 2 of the Out of Tune podcast. This joke will never get old.
Just like us.
When did we, because remember, was it 2 weeks ago where I was like, I heard the episode where we talked about it. And I think it was like this time last year where we just gave up on remembering and we just called everything episode 10.
Math is hard.
Math is hard.
I came in this morning and promotions and sales were trying to do math. And I was like, I'm out of here.
And like memory for me, what is it even? I am a goldfish right now when it comes to my memory.
It is true.
It's bad, and I feel bad for other people in my life that have to deal with the repercussions, like my daughter, who's constantly like, Mom.
Who's wandering around downtown. Mom, are you done at the bank?
I was supposed to pick her up. Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
So episode 10, season 2 seems to be working really well.
I think the listeners really appreciate that ongoing joke. It's like a warm hug. Like they remember what they sign on for. Oh, yes.
Episode 10.
The rest of the episode can tank because they get to the intro where we welcome each other and they remember it's season 2, episode 10.
And then they feel good.
They feel good.
Yeah.
It's like welcome home.
Welcome
the one thing
home.
that will never change
Here's
in
that
your life
warm
of change
sweater. Yeah.
our inside jokes, dear listeners, will never change.
You're welcome.
Yeah. One day we'll be season 3, episode 10, and I don't even want to know what that
When's
looks
that
like.
even going to happen?
I don't know.
Is
One
it
of us has
May?
to take there just has to be a break, right?
Oh, is that what makes it
I
a
think
break?
so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm away for Christmas usually.
Yeah. I'm going to do it by myself. I'll come in here and just
And you'll be so lonely. Because it's not the same.
just me and my pulsing drill or whatever.
Your impact driver.
Impact driver.
Okay, so this week we decided, well, you came up with a good idea because...
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. Explain your rationale.
We were talking about, was that the ex-dating one? Or exes?
5 best places, or was it
Or was
exes?
it five? I don't know, but I thought, we should give shout-outs to good people in our life.
Yeah.
To counter the bad exes, maybe. I don't know. Again, we joke about this all the time on text, but this is kind of like therapy for me sometimes, where it brings up things and people I haven't thought about. And I was like, man, a lot of these people actually shaped my life back in my formative years that I never really think about until we started doing the show and going back in memories. And I was like, even though it may not be completely accessible to the listeners, we should give shout-outs, 5 shout-outs to 5 people in our lives. And then at least, if nothing else, we can tag them on social media and they can listen and it'll help their day. And if people see that they're tagged in this podcast, maybe their friends will want to listen. And maybe this won't be the most selfish, you have to be on the inner circle episode of this podcast we've ever done. But I like to think people will hear our shout-outs and go, you know what? I have someone in my life like that.
Yeah.
That's my Candace.
And that's the best. Aw.
Right?
Candace is
that
my
number
bestie.
1?
She's on my list for sure. But yeah, that's the other thing is like, sometimes you need to have your memory
jogged.
Yeah. Because we've got a lot of stuff in our brains from the years that we've been around. You and I, 47 of them. And when something is important to you, like I'll retell a story. And when you all of a sudden realize like the same person's in a few stories, it's like maybe that's the person that did have an impact in my life. Or if you hear of something that we mention, and if it does jog your memory to be like, oh my God, that's just like my one teacher. It's a gift that we're able to give to the listeners, quite honestly. So.
I think it was the ex-boyfriend girlfriend episode we did because it really made me think about my short life before I got engaged at 19 years old. Like I met my wife when I was 18. Yeah, I started pursuing her halfway through my 18th year of life. So, like, I did a lot of living before that because that's kind of like the line. After I met her, everything has been not the same, obviously, but like it's been her and I. And just building this life and a family and houses and jobs and careers.
Yep.
So, having to really focus on those years before 18 was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And that was where I was like, oh, this person and this person. I remember having coffee with these people I never see anymore. And I remembered real quickly all these people that kind of helped me out during those kind of years before when I was kind of struggling spinning,
Yeah.
grade 12, year
It's a
out.
weird time.
It's a weird time. You're learning stuff about yourself. Okay.
Well, get going then.
All right.
Start off.
My first shout out, obviously, I talked about him in the ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend episode, even though we didn't date, but he's got to shout out Neil Fink.
Ah.
Do you know Neil? You know Arnold.
I know Arnold.
You know Arnold
Arnie,
Van Limbalgen.
yeah.
Yes. It was Neil, Arnold, Terry Matson, myself, George, Michael Garretts. We all would go to Neil's house on the bottom of Cumberland when we were growing up, like, late elementary school, high school. He just had the hangout house.
Okay.
And I remember those are just like my childhood memories.
Yeah.
And, excuse me, Neil, the funniest person I've ever met.
Awesome.
Honestly.
I love funny people.
Sometimes I have to, I've been using jokes for so long that sometimes I have to sit back and go, you know what? I stole that from Neil.
Oh.
Like, he honestly, just, that, I think it's 40-Year-Old Virgin. You've seen that movie?
I have.
Is it Seth Rogen when they're playing video games and they're just kind of like ripping on each other back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, that was like high school for all of us. We would just sit there and rip on each other. And the funniest thing I think anyone has ever said to me was when I was growing up, there was this girl that didn't go to our school, but she lived on my block, and she was our age. And then we would, play video games and, make fun of each other. And out of nowhere, he's like, yeah, and you always go down the block and you knock on her door and you say, excuse me, can I borrow a cup of sex?
What?
And that makes me laugh out loud every time I think about it. Like, if I was ever an actor and I had to
man.
make something of myself laugh,
Cup of s-
can I borrow, because, a neighbor, right? Can I borrow a cup of
course,
something?
sugar
But with
usually.
me, his scenario is I'd go knock on her door and ask for a cup of sex in high school.
That's hilarious.
And I don't know, that's still just, it broke the room, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were all in tears. That was just, like, probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And you kind of had to be there, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, one of those
He
kind
was the
of
best man at
moments.
my wedding.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And he was someone that I went, drinking and partying with in the end of high school, out of high school, when we first got into that. So getting married at 20, I was very worried that everyone thought we weren't going to make it anyway, and we were way too young. So I was like, I don't want to give Neil the platform to give the best man speech because he knows where all the bodies are buried. And I don't
Right.
want him to stand up there when we're trying to be adults and just talk about these crazy drinking stories, right? Mm-hmm. So I let my other groomsman give the best man speech. He was very religious.
You were that worried?
I was that worried because I was like, I
Wow.
want people to think we're trying to remind them that maybe even though we are
Grown-ups.
kids, we are grown-ups. So I gave the best man speech to my groomsman, who was very religious, and he did an okay job. And then I gave Neil the toast to the couple. And Stacey, he knocked that out of the park.
Of course he would have.
And I was like, I still to this day was like, I made a horrible mistake. And as someone who has never been in a wedding party, because of the last 40 years, I'm always emceeing, right?
Yep.
I pride myself on being like the greatest, if I can pat myself on the back.
Do it.
The greatest wedding MC person ever.
Wow.
And I look back and I'm like, damn, 3 of my best jokes I stole from Neil. When he gave this speech I didn't want him to give at my own wedding.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man.
Great guy, and he is living, I guess, common law. They've been together forever. They have a kid, and I am convinced the only reason he won't get married officially is because he knows I'll stand up and tell the story of how in the 5th grade he went as Urkel for Halloween, Stacey.
Oh, boy.
With blackface.
Okay, you know what? It happens. It happened.
And it wasn't
And-
full on. There was definitely darkening of the skin.
We
but
have come a long way since then. We've learned a lot since then. Let's not hold it against anyone because I have a few people in my life who've done the very same thing and
different times.
different times.
It was. I'm sure it wasn't his decision. I'm sure his mom was like, "Well, we got to make you look like Urkel. Let's get the old shoe polish or whatever." But I have been sitting on that for so long.
Interesting.
I've been sitting on that for so long.
That's funny.
Yeah. That is Neil. My last Neil story, and I've
Okay.
never told him this before.
Aw, he's gonna love this.
He's gonna
then.
love this. Okay.
It's like a little
This
gift.
is my, as funny as he is. This is my Neil memory story.
Okay.
We were both at one point pursuing these 2 girls, and I hate using the word friend zone, but they were friends. Mm-hmm. And then we made a pact. We're like, okay, this weekend we're both gonna tell them independently.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it went well for me and not well for him.
Uh-oh.
And I just remember he was so happy for me, Stacey.
Aw.
He was so happy. And I remember thinking, if it went the other way, I don't know if I would be as happy. No, but just being, it was more of a about me than him moment. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have had the maturity at this age to be
That's
as happy for
sometimes-
him as he was for me.
Maturity on those kind of levels is so hard to attain. And once you finally get there and you look back on the things that you've done maybe that weren't mature, I get it.
Yeah. So that's always my thing I think about when I think about how good of a guy he is. Thank you, Neil. You're the best.
Aw,
Thank you
I'm
for
start
thank you
crying.
for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
And don't
with
be
a
don't
heart
be
that's true.
don't be Urkel
You're
for
a
Halloween
friend
again.
and a confidant.
Okay. Back to you. Let's
Back
go.
to me.
Who's up first, Stacey?
For me, I have a lot of people in my life, but it all seems like it happened at once. I had a
Yeah.
very average, safe, quiet upbringing up until a certain age where I went overseas.
Yes.
And I lived there and did things and made up for lost time.
You sure did.
And so
And I'm fascinated.
I feel like a lot of the people there or related to that are so impactful
Yeah.
for me because I changed so much. That was when I had my biggest
Yeah.
changes, really. And so one of those people, her name is Geraldine, and I met her when I was working at the Body Shop in England. And I had gone over to England with my friend Bradley, and him and I were the two Canadians that lived in our hostel hotel. And we lived there with Kiwis, with Australians, with an Italian, with a French person, Irish. Like, it was all over the map. And we were pretty shy. We were very attached to our group of people at the hotel. And so when I was at work, she was super funny, very like electric and super engaging and loud. She's from Singapore. And she was constantly at me to like go out. She's like, let's go for drinks after work. And I'd be like, oh, I have to go home and wash my hair. I was so afraid of having like a girlfriend. And this sounds crazy, but I just had never actually had an adult grown up relationship with a girl, whatever, who was like a friend I could go out for drinks with after work. I was not used to that. I did not know what that was like. And so I would put it off and put it off. And then she'd be like, oh, I found this new restaurant, and she loves to eat. We are soulmates. She loves to eat. And she'd be like, there's this. And plus, London has every restaurant you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
And so she was always at me to, get together or do something, what have you. And so she was one of the people who actually changed me, because eventually I was like, I am going to go out for dinner with this girl. We are going to go for drinks.
Crack that shell.
She cracked the shell for me of just like, knowing that you can have relationships with other people and be friends with people. And she was so great and so wonderful to have, because we would go on what we called our gastro adventures, where we would go eat at different restaurants. We'd go shopping. And she's the one that got me onto gin. And she's the one that got me onto cigarettes at the time. Like,
Hell
it
yeah.
was just one of those people where I look back and I'm thankful that I met her, because she changed me.
Yeah.
And it was for the better. It still took me a while. Like, it's weird because I have a job where I'm very like outward and engaging and what have you, but I'm also like fairly shy. So I still have those tendencies, but she definitely, brought me out of my shell, which I'm so happy happened, because otherwise, my God, the things I would have missed out on. So many things. So a big shout out to Geraldine. And
Do you still keep in touch?
I do keep in touch with her. I doubt that she would listen to this, so I'm going to have to forcibly send the link to her. And I remember her just really quickly going back. She's aware of the relationship we had in the fact that I used to put it off for her. And she's like, remember when I basically blackmailed you to be my friend? And she would like threaten me jokingly, and she's like, yeah, you always had excuses. Oh, we're making dinner tonight. I can't. I have to wash my hair. And it's hilarious to look back on, because she was very well aware of the fact that I was like snubbing her.
Yep.
And then finally, once we started hanging out, it was like, oh my God, what was I doing? What an idiot.
Kept at you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So she was persistent, and she's been to visit me in Canada twice. I have
No way.
not been to Australia, where she lives now. So it's on the list to go visit her.
My wife is trying to figure out how to get back to Australia with my daughter. So there, you guys can have a big Australia trip.
There you go.
Yeah.
Save money on the ticket. Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
Do you get a group rate?
I doubt it. All right, back to you.
Okay. Jonathan, my friend Jonathan. When I was in grade 12, I worked at Wendy's on Idlewild, which is now Tim Hortons.
Oh, yeah.
But the building's still
With
the same.
the sunroom.
So I was like a teenager, and he was in his late 20s, which, he seemed like a senior citizen,
Of
right?
course.
So he just seemed so old at the time, which is funny because I don't see us now as like really any different in age, even though he's still, 10 years above me or whatever. But
Yep.
he was just this magnetic, low voice, just larger than life person, right? And he always, like, he just had this knack for fighting for like what's right. And I know that's such a dumb way to put it, but like,
No, I know
if
what
he
you
saw,
mean.
he's that guy that like, if he saw injustice, even if it had nothing to do with himself, and that sounds dramatic, like injustice at Wendy's, but just in general, like,
Yeah.
if he saw that someone was being treated unfairly, even if it had nothing to do with him, he would go all in. I'm talking scorched earth, go for bat for this person. So obviously he probably could have had a smoother career, but he was just that guy that always stood up for everyone. And when it came back around, I could see in his face that he was always kind of like disappointed nobody stood up for him when it came back around,
Oh, no.
after championing everybody. But I mean, granted, he was older. He already had like a young family. He was married and had like a newborn.
Yeah.
So he had like an adult perspective of problems
Yes,
and
very different.
what hills to die on. And the rest of us were mostly just like teenagers. And so like when authority comes around, you're like, oh, turtle.
Yeah.
And he would just go straight into battle.
Yeah.
And then one time I had the chance to stand up for him, and I did. And I think that really like was what cemented our friendship. Because I think I was probably like the first person to do that. And so
Oh,
we remained
man.
friends like long after Wendy's. And yeah, you talk about people who changed you. Just being around someone who had adult responsibilities and values and always did the right thing, even if it was unpopular. I look back and I think that's definitely why I am the way I am today. And he was always
Wow.
championing younger people. And he was just fun to be around.
Yeah.
Like he was always up for adventure. And he's someone who like switched careers 100 times. I don't want to use the word grift, but like he always has something on the go,
Yep.
He's always finding a new way to make money, and it's very legal. He can read the room very well of like when it's time to get out of this venture and go into another one.
Yep.
So I was very much like, this is the person I want to be around. And
Yeah.
this was at a time when, end of high school, first year out of high school, when I didn't really know where I was going or what I was doing. But he seemed to always be that person that would knock me out of my dramatic states. You
You in a dramatic state? What?
100%. So I really needed someone that was just like, shut up. What are you even talking about? My biggest Jonathan memory was, sorry, this is too much information. My parents at one point just casually mentioned to me when I was like 19. They're like, yeah, we had your sister, and then she really wanted like a baby brother or sister, so we got pregnant a second time, and then we lost it. And then a year later, you came around. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had no idea that happened. And
Yeah.
basically, I'm an accident. And so I was talking to Jonathan that night. And again, I was all in my head because I'm 19 or 20. And I'm like, yeah, so, I just found that out. And he just kind of like takes a sip of coffee. He's like, I don't, what, like, you want it to be the dead one? What do you? And I just remember like sitting back and going, yeah, like what, why? This
perspective,
This
yep.
is actually not a big deal. And I'm sure I drove his wife crazy calling his house like every day. So I apologize for that. But
Cute.
one of the most influential people in my life really shaped me at that young age. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I had like this giant paragraph I wrote about all our funny stuff we did, but we don't have time for that. We're going to keep it moving. Okay.
Hey.
He also is someone like very handy. Helped us
Oh.
move in and out of every house.
Yeah.
He could be like, don't buy this house. Just, he was like my conscience. He was like my Jiminy Cricket.
Well, and your advisory
As I was trying to
board.
become a boy.
Yeah.
That's not the worst analogy.
Yeah. That's a good point.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Next on my list is my grandma. This is my dad's mom, and she's probably the best person on the face of the earth that I've ever met. And I don't want to get weepy here, but she has passed away. She passed away, I think, probably 2 years ago, maybe 3. I have a very bad problem with time recognition as well. But my grandma was adopted out of her family when she was like a toddler. So not even like a baby, but a toddler. And she was like the 4th kid out of 7. And then her parents went on to have more children. But she was the only one that got given up for adoption. And she got adopted by an older couple that already had like a 20-year-old child. And so she was brought into a very untraditional Mennonite household, one other child. That was it. So many Mennonite households back then were like 14, 15 kids. Like, it was crazy. So she had this upbringing with an older sister who was 20 and she was a baby, or she was 2 at the time, and her older parents. And she, fast forward, got married at 17, I think it was, and went on to have 7 children, which included my dad and some great aunties and uncles. And so my childhood with my grandma, I spent so much time with her. There is no reason why she wouldn't imprint on me, because it was every Saturday we went there, and sometimes it was sleepovers, and it was during the week because my dad was the handy guy who went over and fixed stuff at her place. But every time I hung out with her, she would instill a life lesson to me without actually like, well, here you go, Stacey, this is why. And I picked up on so much of it. And I also just like watching her interact with the people in her lives and how giving and kind and wonderful she was. She would tell me stories about what her mom had taught her. And it was, you know, little things like there was a person in the village. She's from like Neuenlogie, out by Hague. And there'd be a person in the village who got burnt in a fire. And it was all about don't stare at them because, you know, like those little life values about like being humble and polite and kind. And, you know, things were really bad when she was like she's a depression baby. Yeah. Dirty 30. So they had nothing. They treasured everything they have. They worked so hard for it all. And so just her attitude towards life and her stories that she told me. And I feel like part of it's genetic because like, I instill the same things in my daughter. And I just love the fact that I got to spend so much time with her and just like learn life lessons from somebody who is so good. Like she would give, and I hate that stupid phrase where it's like, oh, she'd give you the shirt off her back. But she literally would do anything for anybody. She sewed, she cooked, she gardened, she did everything, and she was just the best person. And I know that she left a lot of impacts on. She's one of those people where like if you mentioned, oh, her, it's like, oh yeah, we know her, that sort of thing. And so I don't know, I just feel like I had the best grandma ever. The sleepovers when we were younger were insane. And also the like one of the cutest stories that we would do when we were younger, we'd had a sleepover. She'd take us on a full moon party. And so we get her wagon loaded up with snacks and drag it down the street to the park at 36th and D in Mayfair. Mayfair at night. My grandma with her 5 grandchildren and a wagon full of snacks. We'd go to the park and play and then sit up on the hill, put with a blanket and eat our snacks and watch the full moon. And it was like,
that's childhood.
I really don't think other kids had as good of a child as I did because of my grandma. She was like the coolest person ever. And she imprinted on me so hard. And I'm so lucky because I just feel like if I can, you know, when you meet when you have somebody in your life and you're like, if I could just be a slice of the person they were, I'll be good. And so my grandma is my number 2 on my list.
That's amazing. I think you get this weird perspective. I don't know. I'm not a grandpa, but I think you get this weird perspective when your kids have kids because you realize what you did wrong and you can watch kind of what they're doing wrong in quotes. Yeah. And you can be that counter to that.
And do it without any kind of like, you do it so secretly almost, you know, where you just slip in and you deliver that little life lesson that they might need or what have you.
Because as a parent, you are just trying to get from A to B to C to D and get to bed. And you don't always have that time to reflect and be like, is this the right call? Is this going to mess my kid up? You know? And I feel like grandparents have that and they can strike that balance
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I love that. I love that story.
It's super squishy and warm fuzzy, but
Yeah.
yeah, she was the absolute best. And she just she taught me like just little weird things about like cleanliness and conserving water.
Yeah.
Because my God, in the 30s, you had no water. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, she was a penny pincher, but it was all like really smart. She didn't go to school. She did not go anywhere past, I don't even know if grade 8 was a thing back then, but she was so smart in life. And yeah, that's my next one.
That's
or my next
awesome.
one. Over to you for number 3.
All right. Megan McConnell.
Okay.
I have been working at SaskTel Center Credit Union Center for almost 20 years now, Stacey.
Wow.
Doing camera for the Blades and the Rush and the Rattlers / Mamba.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? I'm missing one. Oh, also from the Berries out at Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
And she started there when she was a teenager, right? I only know her as like sweatpants, ponytail, Megan, right? So, and you know when you meet someone super young, like she's forever like 18 in my mind, even though
Right.
she's in her mid-20s now or whatever. But a few years ago, my body just gave out. Like I could not do handheld camera anymore. I've been doing it for
no.
20 years and just like the right half of my body collapsed. Not a great time of my life.
I bet.
So I couldn't do camera anymore, so I got moved into directing, which is very different than doing camera. You are using 100% of your brain. And Megan is the graphics girl. So like you go to a game, you see, oh, it's lookalikes, and then there's a
Split screen.
split screen, and then it reveals the person. You have no idea how much work that is.
I bet.
So it's stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Megan and I had to work side by side, pulling this off. It is like taking a final exam every single game, especially for like Rush. Like you are multitasking because you're cutting cameras, you're doing replays, you're setting up, you're constantly doing 3 things at once, and you've got 2 different people in the headset. It is a lot.
Yeah.
I will say we get paid very well.
Good.
So that's like the offset. But there are times after a Rush game when I was directing when I would just go sit in my car for like 10 minutes in silence before I drove home. Like it is insane.
I
So
can't believe the fast pace it must be.
this is like, what, 22, 23? Not the best time here either. So I'm going through it. I'm in like chronic pain
Yeah.
as I'm going to chiro and rehab and trying to put the right half of my body back together because my ribs slip out from doing handheld camera for so long. I'm directing, which is not easy for me. Just not a great time.
Yeah.
And she just stepped up and she knew the shots I needed to go with the graphics, and she was always just locked in and basically did both our jobs for the first
Yep.
like few months, and just really helped me along when she didn't have to.
And that's when you need help and someone just like steps in right away without basically saying anything. God, that's wonderful.
And I'm like, if I screw this up, like I don't know where I go, right? Because I make a lot of my income freelancing.
Yeah.
And I can't do camera currently. And if I suck at directing and get fired, like then what, right? So I really look back, and she helped me a lot. And she has been in university. This is a good story. This comes around. And then, you don't know at the end of the seasons how much or how little you're going to work, because it depends on how the teams progress through playoffs. So last May, we were at the Rush game, and they won, so they advanced. And it was like, hey, can everybody work next Saturday? And she was like, well, I can't because I'm up for this award at the university. And it wasn't malicious, but everyone was like, Megan, work. Like,
My gosh.
you need the money. And I know her well enough that she was like, haha, yeah, no, I should probably go. But I could tell that like she was actually debating taking the money because she needed the money. She was about to
Yeah.
do like an unpaid summer apprenticeship. And I could tell that actually like was a big decision that everyone was kind of like making fun of.
Yeah.
So I said, you should go, Megan, like, And then the next Saturday, she's not there because she's wherever getting her, she's up for this award, and I'm just waiting and waiting for that text, and it doesn't come, and I'm like, oh, did I give her terrible advice? Because worst case scenario,
Yeah, I know.
she doesn't take the money.
Yeah.
She goes and doesn't win. So I get home and I'm feeling kind of bad that I didn't get this text, and then I'm home for like 5 minutes, and then it comes, and she was like, "I won," and she sends a picture of herself, and she's in like a gold dress on stage, just like the biggest smile, and she won this like professional excellence award, which is a pretty damn
Wow.
high university honor.
Yeah.
And so that was a very proud moment for me, even though I have no right to be proud, but like, look at you.
Yeah.
And then she got into med school right after that.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for
she
her.
is in med school. So she just started a few weeks ago, and I don't know, I have this like weird pride.
Yeah.
You know, you work in that intense situation with someone and you get to know someone, and she's just a really, really good person. Mm-hmm. And I wish her all the best. And yeah, I think she's
Cool.
going to do amazing things.
What kind of doctor is she going for?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But
Is she taking new patients?
yeah, right?
Not saying I don't need a doctor. Actually, I'm fine. That's
Good
very
kid.
cool. Nice.
Not a kid.
And that's the thing. These people in our lives, like when you talk about how they impact you, there's 9 times out of 10, like there are ones where it's like, they were so sketchy, but man, they're the ones that really do impact you, though. They're good people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come across a good person, you're so lucky to be able to hold on to that and know that person and learn from that person. It's amazing.
And working in like a stressful environment
Yeah.
like that, because like
Yeah.
this is live, and it just it's a lot, and
Yeah.
she really took on extra to help me through those first few months. So
Okay.
I'll always be appreciative of that.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Back to me.
Back to you.
Okay, this is a no-brainer that it would be on my list, but one of the personal shout-outs for me is my bestie Candace. Candace is known by a lot of people, and she is a person who I met when I started in radio. So Curtis and I have talked about our backstory, but I got into radio in 2001. After I came back from the UK, I was working for another radio group here in Saskatoon for a while. I went to Calgary. And while I was in Calgary, I missed Saskatoon so much. And Saskatoon was starting up a new radio station called Wired 96.3.
Yes.
And so I was like, I might as well apply for the promotions gig. And I ended up getting it and moving back to Saskatoon. I was so shocked that it happened that way. I was excited. I missed home. I liked Calgary, but it was just too big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started for the company in October of 2007 in promotions. And Candace started at the end of the month as like HR admin traffic, that sort of position, the glue of any kind of radio station whatsoever. And she tells the story, which I love so much, and it's one of the reasons why I just love her so much, is she's like you. She's very sentimental. We tell each other the same stories all the time. We reminisce in the moment of how grateful we are to know each other and how much fun we have together and how lucky we are that we have each other. And so she tells this story about how growing up, her dad was a real estate agent. They moved around a lot. And all she wanted was a best friend. Somebody that was just like going to be there all the time, her best friend. And it just hadn't happened for her. And she said that when she walked into we were working out of our boss's kitchen at the time. She walked into the kitchen and she said she saw me. And as soon as she did, she goes, that girl is going to be my best friend. And I find this story out like, months after we had met. But we did. Like, she basically looked at me and was like, I will have her. She will be mine. And I don't know if she knew, like, if she took one look at me and was like, this girl is good. But she was like, I want to be her best friend. And we ended up being best friends. And that was in 2007. And since 2007, her and I together have been through so many things. So many insane, life-changing events together. Sad ones, happy ones, celebrations, crisis. Like, it's crazy. And the way that she has supported me, the way that I've been able to support her, and how well we balance off each other, how much we're like counseling sessions for each. If we don't see each other 2 times a week, 1 time a week, like something's wrong in the world and we need to fix it. And then we get back together, we sit with each other, we talk, we laugh, we have our moment, and then all is right with the world. We're balanced for each other. And she was my maid of honor at my wedding. And yeah, she's the absolute best. And she has shaped me with advice and shaped me with fun times and laughter. I love her so much. And I do not think I would be the person I am today without having her in my life. I'm getting so weepy.
No, go
This
ahead.
is like such a sad episode. Out of good things, though. And it's just like when I said we're kind of sentimental about how we reminisce in the moment. Like when we get the chance to hang out with each other, it's like, how lucky are we that this moment in time happened where we met each other and we get all sappy and, you know, not romantic. That's not the right word, but like just
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Yes.
Thank you.
There's romance to nostalgia.
Well, there is, and not necessarily like a kissy,
No.
sexy way, but just the romance of the situation and how like storybook it is almost, you know? And we have the conversation too where we just think like there's nobody else anywhere that has the same relationship that we do. Like we're also very selfish.
Wow.
If you think of it a
That
little
took a
bit.
turn.
Because we just think that we are the absolute best friends that anyone could have. And
Maybe you are.
I think we are. And we've had situations where people have like tried to infiltrate and
Oh,
be
no.
part of it.
No way.
It's a 2-person club.
Yes.
There's no room for anybody else. And so, yeah, that is
Yeah.
my bestie.
It's like going to prison. They try to knock off the top dog day one. You're
Yeah.
like, no.
Don't even try.
No, there's already a click here.
Yeah, exactly.
We're running the yard. Don't even try.
Exactly. Okay, back to
That's
you.
awesome. And I do know Candace.
You do know
and Candace
Candace.
is a great person.
I know.
Yes.
And that's the other thing is anytime somebody mentions her name or like I sold something on Marketplace or no, I bought something on Marketplace and the lady I bought it from, she's like, oh, hey, I noticed your profile picture is with Candace. And I've had the same profile
Yeah.
picture since basically the inception of Facebook. And that woman knew Candace and loves Candace. And I was like, that's my friend. That's my bestie.
Stay away.
Back off, bitch.
Back off.
Anyway.
Take my Esprit t-shirt and go.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay.
You're back.
All right, back to me. I'm going to do my best with this one. I don't want to drop the ball trying to explain this. So give me a little breathing room.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try my best here. Okay, Jill Cowan. I met her through a friend when Macy needed daycare. When Noah was born 10 years earlier, I don't know why my wife and I just patted ourselves on the back for this, but we adjusted our schedules that Noah didn't need daycare. And I don't know why we
wow.
hung our hat on that. I don't know if it was like financial or just like nobody, first kid, we're like, oh, nobody's going to raise him but us. And so when Macy came around and we couldn't do it the second time, like we were in our heads about it. And we had a friend who was like, well, if you need daycare, like Jill's the best. So we met Jill Cowan and her husband, Brian, and just the most positive people you've ever met, which would make sense.
yeah.
She runs a daycare. She's great with kids. She's this ray of sunshine, this rainbow. But then you learn that she had a son that lost his battle with depression. And they created something called Healing to the Max, quote, a specialized Saskatoon-based compassionate support and therapeutic intensive program designed for parents, guardians, grandparents, and youth survivors experiencing a tragic loss by suicide. Grounded in narrative therapy, it provides alternative grief support focused on maintaining an enduring connection rather than traditional closure.
Wow.
So you add that, and you're like, okay, amazing that, and again, this is where I struggle because they have very full plates. Like there's other stuff going on that some people may perceive like, wow, that's a lot, but they don't perceive it that way. If you know what I mean, right?
Those are the best people.
You would look at these full plates,
Yeah.
these two have, and be like, man, that's a struggle. But I don't think they see it that way. I think they just like rise to every single occasion.
That's their life. That's how they are.
And again, I don't want to go into details, but it's just like, I'm like, okay, well, this is happening now. This is happening now. And they still show up happier
Yeah.
than I am with, 1/3 of their schedule, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever met them. They come to Strip Down Live a lot and sit in the crowd.
The names sound very familiar to me, so I'm sure at some point I have met them.
And I don't know how this works because they are our age or maybe even older. And they are like Benjamin Buttoning. A full plate is somehow this weird like fountain of youth thing.
Right.
Every time I see them, they look 5 years younger than they did last time, and I do not understand it. I do not get it. Whatever they're doing, they need to bottle that and sell it. I think the last time I saw them was at one of the last stripped down tapings, and the little studio you could see through the door, kind of out into the hallway where the people come in. And these two people came in and it was far away. I was like, who are those teenagers? And it was them. And this isn't just me, because on the ride home with my son, who helps out with the show, right? I was talking about that Jill and Brian came, and Noah goes, "That was Jill?" He goes, "I thought that was Kendra's friend."
Oh my
Because she was sitting beside Kendra in her 20s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's Jill. She's like my age. And he was like, okay. Yeah. So shout out Jill and Brian. And just two of the greatest people I know.
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
Like you talk about inspirational people. Mm-hmm. Like they just take it on the chin and are like, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
I cannot wait to wake up and do it all again tomorrow, which is,
like you said, because you don't come across those kind of people very often.
No.
Because, a lot of people don't do well with a loss like that, or they don't do well with the day-to-day of, life in general with that on top of it, and maintaining that composure and being there for so many other people. And when you can do that with a smile on your face and like no wrinkles either.
Yeah.
Tick all the boxes, why don't you? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, great people.
Excellent. Okay, back to me. Thank
Sorry.
you. That's all right. Again, just going back to how a lot of my people on my list kind of came from the same time in my life. Shout out to my friend Bradley. He
Nice.
is somebody I met in high school. I did not meet him in elementary school. I met him in high school, so that would have been grade 9. We hung out all the time. We were super good friends. And he's the one that I traveled with to the UK. He is the one who, we also used to work at Zellers together.
Yeah.
Shout out Zellers.
Shout out
Lawson
Zellers.
Heights.
Lowest
Whoop,
price is
whoop.
the law.
I still have to laugh at my picture my mom took of me at my first day of work.
Oh my God.
We had to wear dress pants, dress shoes.
It was like a striped shirt, wasn't
a
it?
blouse. It's a black and white checkered blouse.
Oh, okay.
And then we had to wear a smock, a blue smock.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of me in that. It's just hilarious. I think I might even still have it. Anyway, we both got the job.
Post it on the
time.
socials.
We both were teen volunteers. I was a candy striper first.
Yeah.
And then they transitioned it, thankfully, into teen volunteers, as opposed to those kinky little, like striped dresses, white pantyhose. That's what it was. It was weird. Anyway, we teen volunteered together. We went to high school together. We worked together. And then when he got in his little mind to go over and do a work visa in the UK, he's like, "You need to come with me." And I was like, "You're insane. I'm saving money and I'm going to be a dental hygienist." And that was my mindset at the time. We had taken a year of university together as well, and both kind of realized that it wasn't necessarily for us. And so after that year of university, we were both just working, saving money for whatever happened to be next. And we didn't know what that was. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go on a work visa to the UK." And even his mom, shout out Janice, she's like, "So are you going to go with him?" And I was like, I don't know, hum and haw. And she's like, "If you don't go, you're going to regret it." And it's those moments in time where I don't have a lot of them, where I've had, actual like, what if I hadn't have made that decision? But her words of being like, "You're going to regret it if you don't do this right now at this stage in your life." And he kept on me. He even paged over the intercom at work. He's like, "Bing. Are you coming, Stacey? Are you coming to London?
Oh my God.
Stacey to customer service,
That's
please."
a rom-com.
Honestly, it was fantastic. I did make the decision to go. I had a lot of family resistance to this because, again, coming from a very safe, quiet household, safe, quiet life, going over to another country with a guy for them was just like, "I'm sorry, what?" Just
Little did they know.
little did they know.
How many crazy situations you put yourself in out there. Check back to episode 10 for those stories.
Yes, where I was chambermaiding and what have you.
And just taking motorbike rides.
Taking
with
motorbike
dudes.
rides in Greece.
Yeah, we're going to the bank. Hop on. All right.
Let's go, babe. So yeah, if I hadn't met Bradley, I first of all wouldn't have had like an amazing high school experience. We both had, things in our lives that we were dealing with. And we were there for each other. And then we got to travel all over the place together. Like, it was really, really cool. And yeah, if I hadn't have met him And he literally like changed the trajectory of my life. And I thank him for that, because at the time I was like, no, you're crazy. I'm going to save all this money, be a dental hygienist. I'm going to meet a guy. We're going to buy a house together, get a mortgage, have kids, and that's it. And so my life obviously did not go that way. I didn't have my daughter till I was 40. So I did everything a bit later, but I'm just so thankful that he encouraged me to do that, because it was the best time of my life, probably.
That's awesome.
So yeah, shout out Bradley.
Nice.
Back to you.
I think this is my last one.
This is it. I
This
don't
is
even
five?
have, that's my
okay.
4, so this will be the last.
You just inspire. You don't have people that inspire you, Stacey. It's a short
Stop.
list, right?
Stop.
My last one, and this is kind of like a happy, sad sandwich. My friend Nikki Cox. Met her in high school. Like, probably my best friend at the time. And grade 12, the first year out after, it was just, I don't want to be dramatic, but like a very destructive time for my life. Not making great decisions. Not thinking about my future. And she was the friend that was like, you should think about your future. Like, you're talented, you're smart, you have a lot to offer. And I didn't want to hear it at the time. Everything just seemed like too big of a hill to climb.
Yeah.
It's easier to not try.
No kidding.
You know, that's kind of where I was at. You know, going back to the very beginning of this podcast, I was out, partying with Neil all the time. And she was like, well, that's, go have fun. But like, have you thought about university? Have you thought about what you're going to do? And I just did not want to hear it at the time. And
Yeah.
I was not fair to her. And, I don't know why she didn't tell me to fuck off and just like stop calling.
You know why? Because she's a good person.
Right? And I know that now. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like, she really stood by me when she didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I'm forever grateful for that, because everything she said was true. Every single conversation we had.
Yeah.
Every
And how
time
old, sorry, were you?
Like grade 12,
Grade
first
12.
year. And she was very much on a career path. She was very smart, very driven. I mean, she still went out and partied too.
Of course.
But she was like, no, this is just how I blow off steam while I'm building my career and my future. And I was like, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, shut up,
Yeah. And
the world sucks. Everything sucks. Everybody's worse than me, and I don't want to try. And she was like, okay, well, you could.
It's all here for you.
It's all here for you. And like I said, I just did not want to hear that. And I took it out on her is not the right word, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just not receptive.
Well, you
to
brush it off.
The
You brush
great
it off.
advice she kept giving me over and over when she didn't have to.
And see, that's just, I don't mean to interrupt, but like,
no, go ahead.
that whole age maturity level of like, no, at that time, nothing of that kind of information advice was what you wanted to hear. How many times have you said to yourself, where you look back, the hindsight is 2020 situation, where you look back at a situation and it's like, oh my God, the advice I got, the person in my life who was actually like a slight voice of reason with that maturity of like, no, you actually do need to plan for your future. It's crazy that we run into those people, because at 18 years old, I wasn't like, I did go to university, but I was just like, I don't know. And when someone has the smarts about them to be like helping you out and guiding you, God, we're so lucky.
Yeah. Like I said, I look back and like, I remember these conversations so much where I was just so dismissive. And she was right. And I owe her a huge apology. And I mean, we're good friends to this day.
Yeah.
I was at her wedding, like great. We still keep in touch, but that was just kind of I look back now going, man, I was a dick. I was not a good person to be around. And I don't know why she pushed through it.
Because she's a good person.
Yeah. Shout out, Nikki. Thank you so much.
Okay. Actually, I do have one more shout out.
There we go. Okay, 5.
Yeah.
We did 5 each.
5
Wiping
each.
tears. This is a lot.
We thought it was going to be like, it is positive, but it's also got a lot of feeling behind it, right? Because these are big moments in our life.
Yeah.
I recently reconnected with a friend. Her name is Maria. And I grew up with Maria from birth. We were both born, we lived in Pacific Heights, and our parents lived across the street from each other. So my mom and her mom, friends, they hung out together, had coffee, and we played in the paddling pool. And Maria moved away in grade 6. I want to, no. 4 or 5. She moved to another crescent kind of in the same neck of the woods. And I would still hang out with her, but she was at the time, oh my God, so far away that we just kind of lost touch. And then my family moved out of Pacific Heights to Lawson Heights. Didn't see her ever. Didn't connect on social media ever, which is strange to me, because feel like the opportunity is there. Why wouldn't you reconnect with your old friend? But we just didn't. And then I was emceeing the Pink Wig Gala a few years ago. I want to say 2 years ago. And I had just finished and I was at my table and I was getting up to go do whatever. And I turned around and she was right there and she goes, Stacey? And I look at her and I was like, Maria? And we hugged each other and I'm quite sure I cried. Pink Wig Foundation is an amazing foundation, by the way. I want to give them a shout out. The gala itself is also a bit heavy because and I used to be on the board of the foundation. They give grants to women going through cancer. It's very heavy, some very inspiring and wonderful people. And one of her friends was a recipient there. And so we're having this hug and I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for saying hi. And she's like, I just had to say something. I was so thankful she did. And we went out for coffee a couple weeks after that because it was just like, oh my God, I can't believe we were able to reconnect here. Like, how amazing is this? And we went for coffee and cheesecake and talked for probably 4 hours. And then have consistently made plans afterwards to hang out with each other. And she is just so wonderful. And we have memories that we can talk about when we were younger. Y'all remember the person that lived across the street? He had a crush on whatever. And then we also share the same like values in life, which is amazing because I've reconnected with people before from my past, and you sit there and you're like, I regret every moment of this.
Yes, oh my God.
Holy, how do I get out of here?
Yeah.
In this situation with her, it's just the exact opposite. It's like, I can't believe that this gift fell in my lap. And it's just been so fantastic reconnecting with her. We're going to the Foo Fighters concert together in Regina, and I'm very excited. So there you go. We've got some pretty cool people in our lives.
We have amazing people in our lives.
We
and
do.
I have to end by going back, and I didn't want to bring it up at the time because I didn't want to ruin the mood, but you were telling a very sentimental story about how your grandma would pack you all into the wagon and take you for a
full moon party.
And then you said she took us to 36 and D, and I thought of boobs. And I didn't want to bring it up.
Well, I'm glad you waited. Listening. I'm glad you waited.
You okay?
That's just so funny. And I don't. It's because I am very close to that size, and that's hilarious. I've never thought of that.
I just put a filter over one of your most cherished memories.
36. And if I should have said 30, but if I said 36 and E, would you have thought the same thing?
No.
D.
Yeah.
It was D that made you think of it.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Well, he's
insane.
12-year-old boy.
He's like the Loch Ness Monster.
Sitting across from me over here. It's not real. It exists, Curtis.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. On that note, that's hilarious. It's like sitting across from a 12-year-old boy.
I'm sorry. It's been so heavy for an hour.
Your maturity allowed you to hold on to that and bring it up at the end.
Yes.
So there you go. And can I just give you a quick shout out for being somebody who came into my work life?
Aww.
And when did I meet you?
I reached out to you when I was still at Shaw TV, and we called a parade together.
Oh yeah, we did the exhibition parade.
Yeah, I was always so excited when I'd throw out a wide net, and then one of the people that had actual real media jobs would be like, I would like to do this parade with you. And we called a parade.
Yeah, so but when was that? Like 2007, 8, 9?
Was it that early?
I think so, because I was at Wired, was I on the air? Was it with when
you
I
were
was
definitely on the air?
Okay, so then it was 2012 onwards.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably 2012.
But just like meeting you there, meeting you at I know I saw you other places, and then you started working here.
I did.
And I left for a little bit, I think, or maybe I was back. Anyway, you left for a bit and came back. But the fact that we're sitting here doing a podcast together, and I feel like when the idea was floated to have this happen about doing like nostalgic things, I was like, this is a good idea for a podcast, but I didn't realize how good of an idea it would be for us because of how And I feel like you have the title, and I've said it so many times, of being so nostalgic. But like, what a great way to be able to just decompress for an hour and shoot some good shit with a good person.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's been super sweet. So anyway, just wanted to.
I'm in awe that I get to share this space with you.
Oh, stop it!
No, you always poo-poo it, but man, you have longevity in this town.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I'm just so happy to sit at the adult table.
At the grown-up table.
Yeah, thank you for always making this like a priority, because I know you got a busy week.
You know what?
You always make time.
I'm not great at coming up with ideas, but I do love the time that we spend together.
Me too. Oh, number 6, Stacey Cooper. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do a fun one. What's something with fall? We did like a advice for people graduating, but maybe we should do like a top 10 things you need to know back to school and make it funny. Top 10
As
returning to school.
Perspective of an adult looking back.
Sure. Just like, I don't know. What could we? Let's spitball here.
Because I know, like, I have so many memories of going back to school and like the clothing.
Yeah.
My mom used to pile appointments in at the same time, so it was this like transitional
We've
life
kind
change.
of danced around this.
Yeah.
Maybe we did something similar last year, but how can we put a spin on it?
I think advice is good.
Yeah.
Or is that what we did last time? I don't even
I'll
remember.
look back. But
It was episode 10.
it was. But
Yeah.
if we did like funny things, funny back to school, teacher memories, what's something we could do? Situations. I love fall. Just so a heads up, I'm gonna be so giddy this next couple months.
Fall's the best. I wore a sweater to work yesterday, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" I'm so happy right now.
I put jeans on yesterday. I was like, "Oh, there you are."
And I didn't have to run my air conditioner, and I think I actually closed my patio door because I was cold, and I was like, "It's happening." The only thing is, fall leads to winter, and that's the worst.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll put our brains together.
Okay, we'll come up
and
with
come up
something
with
fall
something-
related, something fun, something a little more accessible. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
If you held on this long.
Oh my God,
There's
it's been 59 minutes.
10 great people we shouted
Yeah,
out today.
Exactly. Okay, well, until the next episode 10, we'll talk to you later.
You're the best. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Well,
Thanks for listening to the Cruise FM Out of Tune podcast. Check back for new episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at cruisefm.com.